Hi, Chuck.
Hey, how are you, Brenda?
Good. Richard will be right with you.
Okie dokie.
Doing all here.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
How are you, sir? Doing good?
I am, yeah. How about you?
Oh, can't complain too much.
I got my, what's that newsletter that goes out to the district, the communique, the Canfield communique? Is that what it's called?
Awesome. You got yours today.
I did. Just got it in the mail, yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Yeah, that was our first go-around. So.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, I guess you're right. It did look like a new...
yeah, it's
I haven't gone through... I haven't looked at it. I glanced real quickly to see if there was any COVID-related information, but I didn't dive in deep enough to see.
Yeah, probably not. It was more just like positive things with pictures and things in the buildings.
Right.
Right. You know, little bit of information, but mostly just being grateful for making it thus far.
Yep.
That was kind of the whole game.
Very professional document too. Who did the printing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should know that. Real good guy, local guy.
I think Craig Olson's outfit used to do printing.
He used
one of the old board members. I don't know if he did it or not. But.
How about like Youngstown something?
Youngstown, I don't know.
Yeah. Renee put all that together.
Yeah, really nice, glossy, looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, he promised me it would, so I said, all right, we'll give you a shot. See?
He met his promise. He met his obligation.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I look forward to seeing what everybody's thoughts are on that.
Yep. Yeah. I know. Brenda Duffett said the mayor will be joining us here in a second. She's the tech-savvy wizard in that household, and she set up the camera. But
okay.
They just said he'd be joining them in a minute. They just said he'd be joining them in a minute.
Did you read that article I sent you about the cheating scandal at West Point?
I did.
Yeah.
That was something.
Good evening.
Howdy, sir.
Good evening, Mayor. And the one op-ed that one of the West Point alumni wrote, kind of relating just the whole...
I must have.
The pervasiveness, not the pervasiveness, but the opportunity for cheating in all this online learning.
Well, and that's something we struggle with, too. You know, how do you truly assess our kids in an online format?
Yeah. It's a real challenge for the teaching staff.
It is. And, you know, the colleges have all these nice little cameras and sign-in sheets and scans, and if you spend enough money, you can get pretty close to trying to get some certainty. But, you know, for traditional schools, it's just a nightmare. It's hard. It really is.
What do you know, Mayor?
I just got home from work about 5 minutes ago, but I'm ready. I got this Cardinal Communique. What do you call that? How do you say that, Joe?
Communique.
Oh, communique. I was a math guy, so.
So was I.
Yeah, all right. But I like that. It's Cardinal 2Cs, Cardinal Communicate. It looks, my wife gave it to me just as I got home. It looks very nice. Wow.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, we put a lot of time and energy on it, and hopefully it's got a lot of good pictures and gets grandmas and grandpas excited. You know, sometimes folks that we don't always connect with in the school setting. So
it's beautiful. I'm just leafing through. I love all the pictures. Really make it. The pictures.
Yeah, everybody loves it. So,
yeah, great. It's you even got our police there. All right. Yeah. That's nice. Oh, I like it. That's
good.
Communications might want to dip into that sometime.
There you go.
And we might run a story about the Army-Navy game and the history of that game and how Navy's got the record, I think.
Got the upper hand.
Yeah, it should go right in that Canfield communique. That's a good.
Yeah. But yeah, we take every chance we got to poke each other a little bit.
No, I hear you. Yeah.
Do you know if Bruce is going to join us?
I talked to him earlier today, and we had a council meeting last night, and we were talking some stuff about that. But he knows about the meeting. But I will text him right now to see if he's running later.
He was planning on attending, but
did he send you the other PSAs?
No, unless it came in a couple hours.
I talked to him about that yesterday because we've been a little bit held up with coming up with a global, communications plan because we'd like to see all the PSAs and then we can start rolling it out, even though we've already been rolling out some of it.
The last email I got from Bruce was that that was last night. Claire's working on them as we speak. We'll try to send you some tonight, but I did not receive them.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Chuck Colucci.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Good. How are you?
Cool.
Hi, Chuck.
Yeah, we got
Hey, guys.
All right. So we got the mayor, the superintendent, the police chief, and lowly old Chuck Coleman. Okay, good. Got all the bigwigs and me. That's fine. I like it that way. Let's wait another minute or two for Bruce. I think he's an important player. So. We don't see him, and at 5:34 we'll kick this thing off. I got 5:33.
There he comes.
I'm just sending them. I'm waiting for a response.
Somebody just dinged in, I think.
Yeah, I think he's in.
There he is. That's it.
Sorry.
That's okay, Bruce. No problem. All right. I see no reason to, now that Bruce is on, I don't, well, Wade, do you know if Wade, he's always invited. He's always invited. Well, we got the primaries. We got the three committee chairs and Bruce and me. So let's get started. So, Mayor, I'll let you welcome everybody.
Okay, on behalf of the task force, thank you guys for joining in today. I think we got a great thing going with great expectations, and we're starting to see a little bit of those statistically, which I'm going to ask the Colonel to go over that. But it's going to be exciting because of what else we have to talk about now with the vaccinations is entered the picture. But we got to keep focused on the prevention because we got to make sure people don't let their guard down and say, well, I got the vaccination coming, so, heck with the math. So that's a conversation that we need to have. But thanks for everybody for joining. Everybody's busy. So back to you, Colonel.
Okay, Joe, if you give us any update on the Education Committee, please.
Sure. So I have no official update or report for you today. Our next Education Committee meeting is tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Sure.
Okay. You doing a virtual type meeting, I assume?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Mayor?
Communications, we don't have a meeting set until we get all the PSAs, and then communications will get together and we'll have them all, and then we'd like to go from there and decide how we're going to do it. I do have some updates if some folks haven't seen it. We had TV 27 and 33 come out and interview the colonel and myself about the task force, about the PSAs. They did a nice little piece, and they even went over. Did everybody get to see it here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then I don't need to talk about it. It was just a nice piece that tells how we're formed up, what the committees are, and what our goals are. And we are just now with having all the PSAs in, be able to get together and start rolling this out. And I know the chief's got a good report to tell us. So that's all for me for now.
Okay. Chief Palucci, a little bit on the recognition end, please.
Yeah, so last week, right around Christmas time, we met with our subcommittee, and I announced it to council last night that Frank McKeah and Judge Rusu had a great idea, and so we've embraced it, and we're going to move forward with what we call like a flash recognition, and the two goals are to recognize local business, and I guess you could say to qualify, you need to be taking the safety precautions, social distancing, spacing, hand washing, having sanitizer out, disinfecting wipes out. And if that's the case, then we're going to recognize that business. And Judge Rusu had the idea on, it's twofold. One, we're continuing to make sure that we are getting the recognition out there that people and local businesses are following safety protocols. And two, it's a little bit of advertisement for them. So they're going to get their name out there and promote their safety, so people aren't going to be in fear that they're not following safety procedures or protocols. So we're going to do businesses and then individuals as well. And we're talking about recognizing people and children that are wearing masks. So Giant Eagle, for example, throughout the holidays, I was in there quite a bit and saw, parents pushing their children around, and everyone had masks on. So what we're planning on doing is first approaching them, and without startling them, we're going to explain to them what we're doing, who we're working with, the COVID task force, and if it's okay with them, do a quick little video to capture them in their safety gear, masks, face masks, and recognize them. We have little stuffed animal dogs, our canines, Rocky and Nix, and we would present that to the kids. Those go over incredibly well with the kids. And then Frank had an idea about recognizing them with a Dairy Queen, and then he realized the price of a cone, and he told me to buy Tootsie Pops. But we were laughing about that last night, and my wife came up with the idea of printing out a certificate, a voucher, which would give them a free tour of the police department, of the fire department, a police car, or a fire engine. Wow. So I got that done today. And so once we get the parents' permission, we'll do our little recognition video. And then before we post it, I told the mayor last night at council we would present it to the board. And if it looks good and you guys like it, we'll go ahead and you could post it, and we'll post it on our social media. But, that's what I sent out last night, rather than going out and buying ice cream or Tootsie Pops, possibly doing the tours of the police department and the fire department. And I would love your feedback or input on that, or any other ideas as we're about ready to get started. So,
any comment to the chief from the mayor or Bruce or Joe?
I said it last night at the meeting. I'm excited to see this chief roll this out. This is exactly what we talked about, and I think it's going to be really good, because the challenge, I think, is a little stiffer because of the announcement of the vaccine. I got 2 calls today and 2 texts just on that about when we get into Canfield, and so I don't know what your attitudes are as far as staying with the defense program of you know, the masking, the distancing, and the sanitizing. So, Chief, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Do you like the idea of the police department tour or the cruiser tour?
Oh,
I think that's a great
I really
idea.
like that. I really like that. And I think high school kids will like that as much as middle school and elementary, because it's something that you don't get to do every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think it's really neat. And so I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, cool. So we are going to, Giant Eagle is certainly the bigger
If I might add, there's some noise in the back. There's some noise in the background. I don't know who's picking that up, but
I locked my son down, so he's quiet.
Okay. If it's your mic, mute it. If you got some background noise.
Okay.
Would the videos be taken on a cell phone, Chief, and then posted to your Facebook page? What are you thinking there?
So we have a GoPro or iPhones, and the GoPro really kicks out some good quality video for inexpensive equipment. So we were thinking of that, and then dropping it down and maybe have we'll start it all off with a presentation of what we're doing, who we represent, just so everybody knows it's not just the police department or the fire department, that it's our task force and that we're looking out for Canfield and trying to pass the word on. And if I could digress for one moment, the mayor, you brought up about the continuance of mask wearing. And so I talked to our attorney, Mark Fortunato, last night. He got his shot. And he sits on the board at he's like the president of not a hospital, but maybe a nursing home. And I could be misspeaking on exactly what it is, but he got the vaccination. And so I asked him, like, so could you stop wearing the mask at this point? And the answer is no. Most of you probably know this, because he could still be carrying it, even though he's immune to it. He could be carrying it and spreading it. So I don't know when the end is. It's certainly not in sight. So, so we'll do our presentation before we post the videos and explain that it's still ongoing. We're still committed to doing it, and we're going to recognize people and explain what we're giving out. And then I'm sure we're going to get people that are okay with them being on the videos.
May I ask? It's a beautiful idea. I think this is. I wish we thought of that when we kicked this thing off. But when you recognize businesses for doing good things, how are you going to do that? You're not going to give them a certificate to tour the state to tour.
I forget who came up with this idea. We're going to present them with a certificate of appreciation, and it's nothing. It's something they could post at their storefront. It can have our logo. Do we have a logo? I know
I created a task force logo that really just shows the city, the township, and the school. But we could add the police logo and the fire logo. I mean, we could.
Yeah, I mean, it's less of a police department issue. We could just continue using what we're using. I like the look of that: the city, the township, and the school, the cardinal. And if you could send me that file so I could drop it down onto the certificate.
Okay, sure. You have a pre-formatted certificate you can just drop it on?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I started that earlier, and the vouchers are done. I wanted to get your thoughts on the tours versus candy and whatnot. Mayor Frank was asking about, funds and the availability of funds, and I told him, don't ask about that. I don't have access to funds. I'll just go buy the gift certificates myself. And that's when she came up with the idea of the vouchers or the certificates. So, yeah, businesses will get a certificate, which basically is like a recognition of compliance. We could professionally, softly put that. And, I certainly don't want to make anyone feel that we're abusing our power as police or anything like that. Some may feel that way if they're just adamantly against it. But I also told the mayor last night, I have a lot of masks and PPE that we get. So I'm going to bring a box with me. And if somebody simply forgot it, which you told the story last night, Mayor, somebody at Giant Eagle didn't have it on, and they just forgot it. I can't remember where. Oh, I had to bring something down to Columbiana Chevy for her oil change, and I walked in without a mask, and they gave me one. I forgot it. It wasn't that I was opposing to it. So it happens. So we're going to bring out masks when we go out, too, and hand them out. And, yeah, so that's where we're at.
Great progress. Yeah.
Hey, Chief, if I could recommend, if you're going to shoot a short video, try to have your officers take a still as well. Because we're not allowed to put a moving video up on the sign, but we could put a picture of someone.
Oh, cool.
You know, maybe give them recognition that way. Even if it's the you know, a store, we get a card, and your department could capture that logo, and we could put that up, and we could say, you know, we appreciate the Giant Eagle, or we appreciate that health and wellness is following guidelines or something.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah. Good idea. Yeah.
Hey, Chief.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to add, and I don't know if this would be helpful, but it could. We built a database when we started this Mayor's Business Forum. It's been kind of dormant since COVID, but all the email addresses of all the owners are there, and the names of the businesses. And you know, I don't know if you're planning on doing a stop-in and then do it, or you might want to announce. You can announce the program to all the businesses and say, we're coming to be positive, and if you want us to come in, I don't know. Yeah, I just give you that because the database has been built. We took a couple of years to build it. And it's
Do you
nice.
have it in an Excel sheet or anything? Or?
Yeah, Patty Burnett has it, and Wade has it. And anytime I've been making rounds of businesses just random on Fridays, and just to see how things are going. And most of the names I just pull from there. And then when I come up with a new business like this Optimal Health and Fitness, and that's one that you want to stop at, Steve. It won't be on the database. I had the owner call Wade and get on the list, but they're right around the corner from Belleria Pizza Canfield, and they're doing COVID testing. They're applied for the vaccination. And it's a nurse practitioner with 25 years of experience, and she will see coughs and colds and anything. But I just, my mom was ill 2 days ago, and we took her in to get a COVID test and treated. And while we're getting IV treatment for her, she had already had the COVID test, came back negative, and we're rolling again, and she's a lot better. But that was just one stop in Canfield, and I'm sure when we get this vaccination rolled out, that hopefully will be a spot because you can go behind there. She'll come out and do COVID testing, and I'm sure she'll come out and do the vaccination. And so it's a good area in for probably the fairgrounds, but the county hasn't told us yet.
Okay.
All right, so Chief, I'm sorry, just to understand, you are prepared to kick this thing off like right now, right? Immediately?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting on last night, get some feedback on the new ideas, and then for sure next week, by end of next week, we should be able to have videos to you, and we'll just keep it going.
Yep, great. Perfect.
Yep.
That sounds great.
Any other questions of the Chief? All right, next item on the agenda is the status of PSAs, how many completed, how many released, on what platforms, future ideas, et cetera, et cetera.
Claire tried to get them done for the meeting today. She's still working on them. She's going to pick up some shots down at the high school because Renee's it just begs for a shot of the high school when you know Joe and Renee are talking about some of the things that they've done. So we're going to try to just get some outside shots. You know, I don't think we should wait on putting up the ones that are done. I mean, can't we get those up on the Facebook page?
Yep.
Okay.
Who does that at the city, Mayor? The city Facebook page? Who manages that?
Well, we have three. We have the city Facebook page. Information should go to Wade. We have the Canfield Police Department Facebook page, and you want it to come to you, Chief, or Josh?
Get it to me. Josh is out tomorrow, but if you get it to me, we'll get it on there.
Okay.
What's the third one?
And
Yeah,
the
I have
third one is
to post. So
third one is the one I built that's mine that has half of Canfield on it or more. It's got about almost 4,500. That was for the school golf outing, and it works well to get the word out. So my personal one would be one to roll out, and that's usually what we do with the city stuff. Or if the chief puts up something or Wade puts up something tonight, I just share it. So, but there's a pretty good number of people on there. So those are the three official. Then we have Canfield.gov, which is our relatively new Facebook, or not Facebook, but it's the city web page, and that's very good. It's interactive. So those are the four that the city can do. And, you know, we've had pretty good success with Facebook Live if we ever wanted to do some live stuff.
So Bruce, the links that for the first two PSAs that you sent out for us to look at a week or so ago, are those the final product? Those are the ones we can release to those websites?
Yes, and Claire can email those tomorrow.
Yeah, have her send them to this committee right here.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll get it. Well, when we get talking here in a little bit about the dashboard, I can put it up there too. The links to those videos. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you get them to me, I'll get them on there. Once you're clear and good to go, I'll get them on there.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Hey, Bruce, do you think that what the chief is doing as far as recognition, isn't that a likely candidate for a future PSA?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would be.
I think it would be great to do a PSA on that because you know, the police are well known in the city, and to have a positive program like this about a serious threat would be great. So maybe they could, Chief, you could do that and do a PSA on the camera.
I'm not saying he should do a PSA. I mean, he's going to have his hands full just doing the little videos of the presentations to the kids and things like that. I was thinking, take the video that the chief does, and we can do some voiceover stuff as far as the PSA goes. I think.
Or maybe we could even, I don't know, I don't want to like make anyone stand out over the other, but if we do find it, well, we're in the middle of our recognition. If we see somebody that's like over and above, we could maybe do one together with them.
I'm just thinking I agree with that as far as formatting the PSA, but I'm just thinking for the PSA itself, if you've got a GoPro camera that takes some decent quality photos, you know, we can't have every PSA, I don't think, professionally done by Claire. I mean, that's asking too much of Claire.
Well, I wonder, Joe, do you know whether there's any students at the high school or middle school that are like future filmmakers? Because it'd be fun to have a contest and say, you know, who can do the best 15 seconds.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, we don't have a mass communications class. The closest we have is like a journalism class. So we don't necessarily have that world kind of up and running. Not saying we couldn't find some kiddos that might be interested, but
would Renee be the right person to talk to?
I would
to go through to get to the teacher?
And then we would talk to Mr. Jennings. He's the one that does the journalism class, and see if we could get some people. I would say that's not already in the works, so I wouldn't wait on that. You know, I would say whatever we can do to get moving.
Right.
But it might even be as the chief starts posting videos of his officers doing the recognition, maybe we can look at those videos as we post them to the different social media and figure out a way, is there a way to cobble this together into a 15 or a 30-second PSA and make it with a voiceover, make it look professional enough that we can then release as a PSA.
Okay.
Good.
And that's something we could help with at the high school with George and Renee. We have the capabilities to do some of that. So we could try to take that on for you, Chief. You know, if you had 3 or 4 pretty cool little videos put together, and you could send them to us, and we could try to run a little homemade piece, public service.
Gotcha.
I guess give it a shot.
Voiceover, yeah.
Good. Perfect. Yeah, and I'm confident we'll get a few cool ones. So.
Oh yeah, and they're probably going to be our kids anyway, which is even more fun.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Well, actually, there's two PSA opportunities. There's the individual recognition and the business recognition. So that's good.
Right.
All right. Make a note of that. Any other discussion on the PSAs? The ones we have, we're going to release immediately. Claire's working on a few additional ones once she gets some stills from the high school, still shots from the high school, and we're going to look to the recognition committee for a couple of future meetings. Did I summarize that? All right. Status of the LED signs, electrification, messages, etc.
Okay, I took half of the LED sign. Essentially, we've got the right size to do a double-sided sign. So I took one side up to the city building to show it to the council members, and also to planning and zoning and design review. I just thought that politically it's best to show them that before we just go ahead and put it up and then have comments of, where did that come from or so forth. So everybody was okay with it, only that it was, especially that it was going to be temporary. So, it can be up for a couple of months, and I'm concerned that I think that the chief's IT guys are going to be in charge of the messages. So I think it's important that we go ahead and give them recognition really for running that, because that we don't have the same message up there. We want to change it every few days, I think. And it's programmable, so you can have, according to our ordinance, it can be up for 15 seconds. So you literally could put up, scores of messages. But usually the way that you produce for somebody that is driving by, you would only have maybe 6 messages. So every 2 minutes, then the first one starts over again. So everybody can come up with suggestions of, I think once we find out where COVID testing in Canfield is going to be, that would be a good one. Right now, I just saw in the Vindicator, where the blood drive was going to be. So it was health related, so I put that information up. And then wear your mask, or any type of comments like that, I think would really be good. Essentially, it's run by a small computer that is actually in the sign, and I think the guys and my technician are going to go up and connect to it via Wi-Fi. So they may have to go up in a vehicle and change it, every 4th day or something, so that we get new messages up. But that's how it's going to work. And if you want to see it, you can go in and look at those panels at the city building.
Oh, okay.
And electrification, I thought we were going to have this thing up by now. So it's really been like pulling teeth to get somebody to give me a price on making a shelf that these panels can sit on. I'm talking to the Tom, what's the guy that's doing the renovation at the city building?
Oh, Testa or?
Yeah, Testa.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, he's going to meet me up at the green on Saturday, and I think, am I right from council that they said they're going to start taking down the Christmas decorations this coming week?
Yes.
So that frees up the outlet that's right there that we can get power from, so we don't have to run all the way to the bandstand. So,
are those on a timer, those outlets?
Oh yes, they are.
Yeah. See, that
We can bypass that. There's plenty. There's a way to bypass it.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power pedestal is somewhere where you can probably just make the switch in there. Yeah. I forget where it is on the south end of the green, but okay. Yeah, you're right. You should be able to do a simple switch on that.
Yeah, so Bruce, last we talked about the signs. You were looking at us being able to change them. You still need that internet source down there?
Yeah.
Okay. So
well,
we have
I think what we do is install the software on one of your tech's computers, if that's okay. And then that way, it's just essentially a file that once you create it, then you run down to the location to connect by Wi-Fi and just hit publish. It may be that we could do it from your office.
I think we can. So when can you get me the software? The sooner I get it, the more time we'll have to play with it and get familiar with it.
All right. I'll talk to, my tech's name is Troy Perlog, and I'll talk to Troy and see whether he can't come up and get with you and whichever tech is available.
Yeah, if you just give me a buzz and we'll get together, and the sooner we get it and get it downloaded, the quicker we'll be able to figure out how to navigate through it. And then, you know, ideally, if that hotspot's out there, we'll be able to do it from our desk.
Yeah. That'd be great.
I just need to know what you want up there.
Okay. All right, let's keep in mind, everybody, Joe and Bruce and Chuck and Mayor and me. If you have do you have any idea how many characters we're limited to on those panels, Bruce?
Yeah, in fact, that's what I've got running now. I should have brought that with me, but it can be 4 lines of text.
Okay.
I mean, you can make it 2 lines or 3 lines, but if you get more than 4 lines, it'll probably be too small to read. And then it's about 3 words wide.
Okay, so if we have some simple phrases or something we would like on there, let's just share them amongst ourselves in a group email, and that way, as we start programming it, we can just rely on we'll assign this to somebody, and they'll just pick the best, or if not the best, those that we fit, and get them up. Okay. Yeah, I got a couple ideas right now. Okay, good. Anything else about the signs? Okay. I
don't think.
All right.
Speaking of signs, this is a little bit off, but it makes me think about it. Tomorrow I'm meeting with Julie to see about getting some more masks at 9 o'clock. But I was thinking, you know, I haven't seen a lot of people wearing cardinal masks when I go out and about. And you know, we're asking people to buy them, and we're telling them they should wear them, they positively wear them, but we're trying to ask them to buy them. And I don't know if I'll find out from Julie, and I don't know if you know, Joe, how it's going on the sales. But I was thinking of maybe trying to get some sponsors for, like, made a couple calls to businesses, see if they'd want to buy a bunch, and then we could give them out, and we could recognize that business for being a sponsor for the mask. So the PTA is still benefiting, but we can get them out there, because I don't see it penetrating in the Canfield market as of yet.
Okay. Yeah, I talked to her the other day. I think January 21st, she was supposed to get that big shipment to come in.
Okay.
So that'd be a good conversation to have with her tomorrow.
So that's not for another 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks. So it'll be 2 weeks out. Yeah, there's big shipment coming in.
And you know, that would be a good thing, because we could take a picture of that mask and put it up on the LED sign and say, but you can only have one place where you could get it. I mean, should it be the school, or should it be Julie's? No, we don't, you know, what do you put up for where it can be picked up or purchased?
Yeah, that's something we'd have to chat about. So I
can talk to Julie about that.
One there, where she
right.
You know, I know the price is, what, $10?
Yeah, $10.
What's the cost?
I don't know that.
Yeah. Because, are they making, 50% margin on the sale of that? I mean, can we reduce the price if we buy in greater quantity?
Yeah, Mayor, that's a good
I'm just having, the mayor doesn't want to give them away and undercut the organization
right.
for making some money, but maybe the $10 is discouraging purchase. I don't know. Okay. All right.
The other thing that's been brought up in communications is, want to bring it up here, is signs, like regular old yard signs, like a real estate or you're running for office, and we put maybe a cardinal head, and then we put the Canfield 3, the big C's with cardinal. That used to be the logo, the big bold C with the cardinal wearing a sweater. We could dig into that one, or we could put the current Canfield cardinal logo that the city is using or the school is using. But then we could say the 3 cares, and the cares are, care for each other, wear a mask. The second would be check your distance, and the third would be clean your hands. And put those on a sign, put the 3 C's big, or maybe put 1 C and have the quick phrase. How do people feel about yard signs?
Yeah. Are we going to need a zoning variance to put a temporary sign up in the yard?
No, you don't need a
signs become an issue and all that.
No, we can streamline that. I mean, as long as you have it 15 feet away from the road, you're legal.
Okay.
Yep.
That's it.
All right.
But
I'll lock Mike in his office for a little while.
Yeah, the zoning guy. All right. All right. Well, the mayor alluded early on to the fact that we got some data. I got it from Ryan TCAC a couple of days ago. Let me find it here. Hold on. I don't know if you can see the screen, those of you that are logged in. He gave me data from March 16th through the 4th of January, I think it was. And it was just raw data. I stuck it into a spreadsheet and plotted just to see what it looked like. I just wanted to see what it looked like. And obviously there's some outliers like that 75 spike right there. But the trend line for cases that's the dotted line. It's going up. Even though we got these sawtooth up and downs, it's trending upward for cases. However, the trend line for deaths is going down to 0. The trend line. All that means is we're getting better at treatment. I don't want to look at the deaths as closely as I do the cases. We need to look more at the cases than the deaths, because the improvements in medical technology should drive those deaths down in here. But this trend line upward for cases for Canfield, and this is just the 4406 area code, is a little disturbing. Even though you see at the tail end here it's dropping down, it hasn't dropped down enough or long enough to reverse the trend, I don't think. I think TCAC's going to be able to give us this data on a weekly basis for our zip code, and I intend to put these on the dashboard. I haven't yet. Let me find the dashboard. Hold on. Oh, let me see here. All right.
I'm seeing the West. Oh, that's better. I'm seeing the logo of West Point. I don't know if you can get the graph up there.
No, wait. Oh, really? I had the graph up there. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. Hold on.
Yeah, now, if you put Navy up there, I wouldn't complain.
You wouldn't have said anything. I know. Hold on.
No, I'd say leave it up there all day.
Share, select items to share. Hold on here. All right, there it is. My apologies. See it now?
Yep.
I don't know why I'm still seeing your logo. It flashed up. There it is.
See it now?
Yeah, it's working.
Thank you.
My apologies. I'm not quite as good at this virtual stuff as I used to. All right. So again, the trends for 44406 total cases since March 16th is almost 1,600. This is the solid line is the daily chart, and the trend line is that dotted line that's sloping upward. And then the total deaths, like I said, they flattened out to 0 from our area code, so that trend line is down to 0 too. again, we need to be focusing on the cases. If we can reverse the trend on the cases, that's going to be the sign of success for whatever programs we implement. So let me go back to the share the web page.
So is this for Mahoning County?
That's just our zip code.
Wow.
This is narrowed down to our zip code.
Yep.
Which we asked them for that some time ago, but they've been so busy doing tracing that they haven't been able to send us the data. And I would like to add, Chuck, that talking to the state last week, their numbers are at the all-time high in hospitalization, which is I don't know if that's another piece of information we need, but that is really the state. I don't know if it was Wednesday or Thursday, reached the maximum number of Ohio capacity hospitals, the most they've ever had for COVID. And they think, of course, it's the holidays. And I think the family gatherings, the parties have replaced the bars and the restaurants in new cases. So this message that we're targeting for Canfield folks, for the adults and the kids and at home, that's the market we need to penetrate to prevent this, according to the state. And we're doing that. We're going after that.
All right, let me see if I can bring up the other screen.
We'll talk to the health commissioner people. They're worried about the hospitalization rate.
Yeah. All right. So this is the website I built after our last meeting. That, again, it's not pretty, but I think it's got the right pieces on it, and we may want to add some more. I may clean it up a little bit. But it's do you see the website, the COVID Defense Task Force dashboard? Does everybody see that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. All right, so the dashboard is built from the national level down to our local level. So there's the CDC dashboard, and if you click on it, it just takes you to the CDC COVID tracker website that people can see. The next one down is the Ohio. It takes you to the Ohio dashboard where you can see similar data only for the state of Ohio. There's the Mahoning County link that takes you to the Mahoning County dashboard, and from here you can zoom in on individual zip codes or cities if you want to, and it's a pretty cool web. They're all built similarly. They're all showing the same data points: total cases, total deaths, et cetera, et cetera. Then I had the superintendent Knoll. I created a page for the superintendent, and Joe provided me some links to a couple of sites that he indicated might be appropriate to put there. I indicated those there. I can't even remember what they are, Joe, so excuse me. Let me click on one. Yeah, the Ohio Coalition Communication COVID messaging page, and
that's a pretty interesting document. It talks about what level you are as far as the color code goes that the governor put together, and how many schools are actually in person versus remote.
Right.
That's our current dashboard on how many positive cases we have in the school district there.
Right. So yeah. So those are good, and these sites are updated periodically, Joe. These pages.
Yeah, we do them weekly.
Okay, all right.
At least.
So I don't need to change my link. That link is up when they click on it. It's the most updated information.
Yeah, you should be good.
Okay. Then I created a page for Chief Hutchison, and I'm thinking about this now. I thought when we first talked about the dashboard that the chief had some data on number of COVID patients that he transports with his ambulance service, and I thought that would be a reason to have a dashboard link to the chief, to the fire chief. I don't know. I don't know if that data is significant enough to have a link on our dashboard. I guess I'm looking for some input on that, because right now there's nothing there right now. It's just an empty page.
I think it would be valuable.
Okay. No, I thought so too. I just got to make sure that we have some way to get that data on a periodic basis.
He told me he was going to get that to me. He's on my committee. He told me he was going to forward that information to me.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping tomorrow I'll give him a little reminder and say, hey,
yeah, please do, and let him know that I got a spot on our dashboard to include that. And
I agree with the chief. I mean, anything you can do to say this is closer to me,
right,
is going to make more sense.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
If I'm hauling 40 Canfield and one of them's my neighbor to the hospital, you know, that's the stuff that, I mean, nothing against the state stuff, but Canfield and being my neighbor to me is what's all about.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, that being said, would it be more, because you said anything more local is what's going to get? Should I reverse the order of these dashboard links to put the local stuff at the top and the state and the federal stuff at the bottom?
I would agree with that, only because the feedback that I've gotten is people seem to appreciate that we have a local task force, number one, and that we're taking action. And I think if they would come in and they would see, it's impressive that you could see 44406 data. That's impressive. So if we started that at the top and then work your way down to national, and we got specifics on the school, specifics from the chief on the EMS side, how many, let's face it, we're trying to sell people, hey, this is the enemy. This is a killer enemy. It's invisible, and you gotta hang tough and do the right thing. And I think that they can get this from this website. This is great, Chuck. You did a hell of a job here.
Okay. All right, I'll reverse it. I agree. We'll do that. I'll put the 44406 since it's a Canfield task force. That'll be the first button. Will be our data for our zip code. Then I'll go to the schools and the fire chief, and then go to the county, the state, and the feds. I'll do it. All right. Then I had a link for, and this hasn't been updated in a long time, but it was WKBN had where can you get COVID-19 tests, and it listed local testing sites, but this hasn't been updated since. Oh, I'm sorry, it was just updated today. Okay. It hadn't been updated since November 12th, but they just updated it. So all right, so it is current. So if people want to know where they get COVID testing, they can link there. And then just some basic information on 8 things to know about the vaccination program. It doesn't tell them where they can get vaccinated. We should post that once we know it. But right now, I'm just giving them kind of data on the vaccines themselves. All right. All right. Anything else? I mean, it's just, again, it's not pretty. I would like it to be a little more compact, but I'm using a free website program, and it works very well. It just doesn't look as fine as you'd like it to look. Any questions about this? All right. Let me go back to the, hang on. Got to click the right button to go back to the share the agenda. All right, should be looking at the agenda again. So we're down to agreements, commitments, and next actions. We know that we're going to all put together messages and share them among ourselves for the LED sign. Bruce and the police chief are going to work on who there in the police department will have the ability to update the signs. We know that the Christmas decorations will be coming down, so power availability should be pretty quick. I'm going to get the chief a copy of the the logos I'm using for our task force so we can use them on his certificates. He's going to start that recording of presentations as soon as possible and share those videos with us so we can post it on our websites and Facebook pages and things like that. What other commitments do I have? Joe's going to talk to the fire chief tomorrow at his meeting about starting to provide data that we can post on that link on the dashboard. What else?
We did get a commitment outside. 27 did the piece last week. 21, and that went on 2733. That 21 would like to do some, but I asked them to wait till we got the other PSAs. Okay. And naturally, Chief Hutch is powerful, and we're going with the one big thing. But I agree with Joe that these testimonials are strong and well done by Claire. So that would be something that's a commitment we got from outside that we can talk about and what we want to do with 21.
Well, that's the other commitment. That's the other commitment. Claire's going to get some stills outside the high school so she can finish up Renee and Joe's public service.
Right.
All right. Next meeting. When can we have our next meeting? 2 weeks?
I think that would be good.
These 5:30 times okay?
Yep.
What day of the week doesn't work? I know people have council meetings and stuff like that. What day of the week?
This is pretty good Thursdays, I think.
Thursday is good for me. How about you, Chief and Joe?
I'm checking my wrestling schedule. That's the only thing.
Yeah, look, 2 weeks from today, whatever date that is, the 21st.
That is, yep.
It works for me.
You're good then, Chief?
I'm good on January 21st.
All right. So, and Joe, you're okay, he said?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll set, and I'll get an agenda out. We'll send January 21st at 5:30 through one of these free conference call things. Any last comments or wrap up by anybody? I'll go around the table. Mayor, any last comments?
Yes. Again, thank you for everybody for serving. And Joe, thank you for the invitation. I'll be on your, whatever you're doing, Zoom. Which one do you do?
We use Google Meet at school. We're all Google.
What's that?
We use Google Meet.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll see you tomorrow on that.
Sounds good.
All right. Chief, any last comments?
Yeah, so I have one of these at home. There we go.
Oh, the dog. Yeah, sweet.
That's our new dog, Nix, and then the back's got our logo.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
The kids love these. They sleep with them. So this is what we'll recognize the kids with.
Nice.
And then the voucher for a tour, and then the certificate of recognition.
Perfect.
So, yeah, this one, it's got a dog collar.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
All right.
These have been popular. So we have plenty to hand out to the kids, and we really didn't have so many events last year because of COVID, so we have extra.
Right. Good. Thank you very much.
Get me the logos, I'll throw them down onto the certificate.
Joe, any last comments?
Nope, good here.
Bruce, anything?
No, I'm meeting with Joe on Joe Testa on Saturday. He said he was going to try to get me a price, and I said, look, we want this done as soon as possible. So if you can just do it time and materials, and I'll tell Wade to put it into the renovation in the front of the city building.
Perfect.
He'll kill me, but anyway.
That's all right. It's not going to be that much money. It's not going to be.
I don't think. I think, it should be less than $100, I think.
I would hope so. Yeah. All right. I don't have anything less. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'll get I'll make sure I send you all the link. I videotaped. I should probably say that up front, and I always forget to. I'm recording these meetings, and I send you the links to them I have so far. That way it's a better record than anything I could probably write up. So,
all right, perfect.
I'll put the agenda out for the next meeting sometime next week. Thank you, everybody, for your time.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Good night.
Good night.